My entitled MIL tried to move into our home without asking. Now my husband wants to cut her off. Alright, here we go. I've been sitting on this for a few days, because I can barely believe it myself. I thought my mother-in-law was bad before, but this takes the cake. For context, I, 28F, have been married to my husband, Jake, 30M, for 3 years, together for 6. Jake's mom has always been difficult. She's the kind of person who needs to be the center of attention at all times and throws a tantrum if she doesn't get her way. Over the years, I've learned to smile, nod, and avoid confrontation because it's just not worth the drama. Jake has always been supportive of keeping boundaries, but he's also been hesitant to fully confront her. Anyway, here's where things get crazy. Jake and I recently bought our first home together. It's nothing too fancy, just a cute little house with a backyard, but it's ours, and we're incredibly proud of it. We spent months saving up, and the day we got the keys was one of the happiest of our lives. We hadn't even finished moving in when my MIL started hinting, no, demanding, that she be allowed to help decorate. To be clear, she has a very specific, gaudy sense of style. Think animal prints and gold everything. Not exactly our vibe. We politely declined, saying we wanted to handle the decorating ourselves since this was our home. She didn't take that well, but we managed to smooth things over. A few weeks go by, and Jake and I are settling into the house, painting rooms, buying furniture, enjoying the space. Then, one day, out of the blue, my MIL calls Jake while he's at work. She sounds hysterical, claiming she's too stressed living alone in her apartment and that it's too small for her. For reference, she lives in a very nice 2-bedroom apartment, fully paid off. She starts dropping hints about how our house has so much extra space and how it would be so nice for her to live with us, at least temporarily. Jake shuts it down. He tells her that while we love her, we need our space as newlyweds, and having her move in would disrupt our lives. She pretends to understand but starts crying and guilt-tripping him, saying things like, "After all I've done for you," and "I'm your mother. How could you leave me like this?" Fast forward to last weekend. Jake and I were out running errands when we got back to the house and saw a moving truck in our driveway. I froze. Jake looked confused, and we hurried inside. And guess who was there, directing the movers? My MIL. She had packed up her entire apartment and was moving into our house without even asking. Boxes were everywhere. I'm talking furniture, clothes, the works. She had movers placing her stuff in the guest room like it was a done deal. I was speechless. Jake, on the other hand, completely lost it. I had never seen him so angry in my life. He pulled his mom aside and demanded to know what the hell she was thinking. Her response? "Oh, sweetie, I know you and her said no, but I figured once I was here, you'd see how much I needed to be with my family." I couldn't believe the audacity. She didn't even see what she had done as wrong. She kept saying how family comes first and that she assumed we would change our minds once we saw how happy it made her. She even had the nerve to say, "Besides, you're never going to use all this space. It's wasteful for just the two of you." Jake told her, in no uncertain terms, that she was not moving in. He told her she could either take her stuff back to her apartment or figure something else out, but under no circumstances was she staying with us. MIL immediately started crying, calling Jake ungrateful and accusing me of turning him against her. It was a full-blown tantrum, screaming, throwing things, the works. Jake didn't budge. He told her the movers needed to turn the truck around or she'd have to pay for storage, because none of her things were staying in our house. He even told her she couldn't stay the night and that she needed to leave with her stuff now. It was brutal. Eventually, MIL left, but not before saying she was done with us and that we would regret this. She drove off, and we haven't heard from her since, but I'm sure it won't last. Jake is genuinely considering cutting her off completely. I feel horrible because I never wanted to be the reason he might go no contact with his own mom, but at this point, I'm just done with the manipulation and the guilt trips. I know Jake feels guilty, but I've never been more proud of him for standing up for us and setting boundaries. This was the final straw for him, and honestly, I don't know where we go from here. We're both emotionally drained, and every time I think about how she just assumed she could move in without asking, I get furious all over again. Has anyone else dealt with an entitled MIL like this? How do you even begin to repair something this broken? Or is it just time to let it go?